Hi, Eamon here from Infrared Heating Ireland. Today I'm sat with Alan. He's a customer of ours, and we've installed the infrared system in this complete house. Alan, thanks for joining me. So maybe start with, this is a brand new house built with infrared.
Yeah, we're 16 months in now, and it was just good to get all the kind of costs and figure out what it actually cost, because that was a little bit of an unknown at the beginning.
At the time. So we ran the infrared system for 2025.
Yeah.
When did you move into the house?
We moved in at the beginning of December. But
right.
I think the initial build, no matter what house you move into, is going to be from cold, know. So we've kind of ditched that first bill, and we have a year of actual real data, world kind of
which is
information.
What a lot of clients we deal with, they maybe haven't come across infrared before, and they're trying to figure out why would you install infrared. Like, there's commonly asked questions. It's good to sit with the customer and see how you found it. How did you come across infrared at the beginning?
So a friend of ours was pushing us towards making sure that we kept solar panels in our budget, and to try and find the most efficient electric heating that we could to pair with that.
Okay.
And for similar money to a heat pump, we were able to put your heating system and a 7 kilowatt electric PV system with a 5 kilowatt battery. I think there was only maybe a couple of thousand in the difference overall, but everything was,
And when you first found out about infrared, how did you find out about infrared? Was it
just through Google?
Right.
Initially we were looking at these fancy ornate kind of electric radiators, but I think the efficiency was just not as good on those.
Yeah.
Plus they would have taken up the wall space in every room. So
we would have spoke then, so we would have put the spec together, we would have come out, we would have met.
Yeah.
And then you made the jump to infrared. And what made you, because I know I'm just thinking from the customer's point of view, so people looking at this video will say, well, like, maybe I've spoke to my builder, they never heard of infrared, or my plumber, obviously, an electrician maybe. So
yeah, there was a few conversations during the build at the beginning, all right, where not many of the tradespeople have heard of infrared, because the norm just seems to be that you have to put a heat pump in.
Right.
So there was a little bit of convincing along the way, and I think it was just the no moving parts and the ease of, if anything does ever go wrong down the line, it's so simple to just get up on a stepladder and change one.
Yeah.
We're never going to be without heat completely. A fault on a heat pump means all your heat is gone. This is 17 panels, kind of 10 systems around the house.
And again, I suppose, heat pumps are around a long time. They work very well. This is not kind of, why this is better, but it's more a video to educate people that they can make an educated choice about, well, look, my builder is telling me, or my electrician is telling me to put in a heat pump, but maybe why should I consider looking at infrared? Now, I suppose the reason we've chosen, March 2026 is to come back to you is because you've ran the infrared system for 12 months.
Yeah.
And you can then tell us how much it's cost you to run infrared whole house.
Yeah.
So maybe tell us about the size of the house.
So the house is 160 square meters, 1,700 square feet. We got an 8.3 rating, which was knocked down slightly because of our hot water system wasn't deemed to be as efficient as it could be, but it is connected up to the solar, and from March to September the hot water is free, so we weren't too concerned about that. We're 8.3 rated, So overall for the year, 60
square meter house, 8.3 rated. You've done a self-build, which
everything.
Is something separate, but
we have mechanical ventilation as well, so we did spend the money on that, which is brilliant, because you're not opening the doors and windows, like you're keeping the heat in.
And as we're on the self-build, how did you find managing the project with the infrared versus maybe having to think about more moving parts when you?
Our build from start to finish was 9 months and 3 weeks.
Okay.
which was quite quick. There was probably maybe an extra week of work for the electrician
Right.
in terms of wiring and things like that, but we didn't have to wait weeks for different layers of flooring to dry.
Yes.
We poured our finished floor with the foundation,
Okay.
and it meant that we could just
Yeah.
plow ahead right
So
to
there was
the
less
end,
moving
like
parts maybe that you'd have with putting in your
dehumidifiers
underfloor
and trying to dry layers and everything waiting for that.
yeah,
So,
but it's more so, you know, it was a simpler process.
Yeah.
Because there was less moving parts, because you went down the road of
Yeah.
the infrared. And then, so we've ran it now we've 12 months data. And how has that looked then in the last 12 months?
So for the 12 months, the electric bills, we were with Energia on a day and night rate with the smart meter. It came in at €1,550 for the year. It works out at $29.80 a week, which we were quite happy with, you know. The infrared panels monitor their own energy, so we were able to go in the other day and just gather all the information. So it's used basically 3,000 units of electricity, 3,000 kilowatts over the year.
So
3997.
3,000 units of electricity at maybe 25-30 cent on average in a kilowatt comes in less than $1,000, probably 800 to $1,000, give or take.
Yeah. And then from our solar, we got basically 6,000 kilowatts back in electricity. So that really helped to balance the energy usage.
You would mention something as well about what the big focus is on a heat pump is it's 1 kilowatt. For every kilowatt, you get 3 kilowatts of energy to the house.
That was the big sell, or one of the big selling points that you hear about a heat pump, is that you're going to get this multiplier effect of every kilowatt of electricity you put in, you're going to get 3 kilowatts maybe of heat output. Yes. But for me, that would have meant we wouldn't have had anything left in the budget for the solar panels. And we're after getting 6,000 units back from the solar panels. So for me, the maths works out either way. Like,
and that's something just to look at. So for the cost to put in the heat pump and all the work associated with, you were able to get your infrared system and a solar system and a battery.
And the battery for
similar
not much
money.
In the difference, similar enough money. And it means that, I don't think, so basically our electricity bill was for the likes of hot water, cooking, lighting, all of that. I don't think the running costs are...
So this whole house in 12 months, general electric consumption, heating hot water and running infrared, the infrared part is between 8 to 1,000. And then the total cost was?
1,550 for everything.
Okay. So. Yeah. And I think that probably came in under what we had kind of initially.
I think we estimated it at about 2,000 when you initially spec'd it for the house for the year. That's roughly what our bills might have been for the year. Yes. So we're 500 quid nearly under that.
Because and just on that point, if you put your infrared. Yes, you have the advantage. You had the cost, you had the budget there to spend on solar, but even without the solar, you were still, you put in your infrared and it's costing $1,000 a year, which is very, very good. And would there be anything else that would cross your mind through the process, or how you feel about infrared now?
I think I love the control, because I know some people with a heat pump and they have it set at this sweet spot for trying to keep their bills at a reasonable amount, which might be 18 or 19 degrees, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but we have ours just set a little bit higher. So the living area, you can create different schedules for different zones in the house here. The living area, we allow it to drop to 17 during the night, and then gradually during the day it comes up to 20 degrees here, so that's nice and comfortable. The bedrooms are 18 during the day, and they kind of drop during the night to 16-ish. A minimum of 14, but they never drop. The house is so well insulated, they don't drop to anywhere near that. And then a nice feature for us, we were supposed to get a log burner in the sitting room, but I think the insulation is just too much. We wouldn't be able to sit in there if we lit one. So it's nice that we have the control. We have the sitting room set to 22 degrees in the evening. So at the end of the day, when you're finished and you put your feet up and you stop moving around, it's really cozy in there at night. So you're not paying to heat the whole house to 22.
Yes.
So that's where we retreat to in the evening and have the heat set a little bit warmer.
The control, yes, and that feature of being able to look at what each room is using, and that's where we've got the data from.
Yeah.
And was there anything else before we finish up that you would?
Just that now I don't have to touch it. I spent a little bit of time initially setting up the schedules and everything, but now I haven't touched the system since maybe last January. The weather turns it off and on. I think there was a couple of nights during April last year where it did get cold and the heating system just kicked in for that one night and regulated the house and then went off again. So you don't really have to worry about a little dip in temperature here and there. And if you've switched off a heat pump, you know, that there's no switching it back on.
It's a slower releasing heat back into the house. And then if you have a good bit of glass behind us here, if you get a lot of solar gain during the day, the heater will
they just switch off straight away.
Switch off. Whereas what you probably maybe find with the heat pump, because you're underfloor, you'll tend to have to open a window because the room can get quite hot, you know. It's always interesting to sit with the client that's using infrared, because obviously we're promoting the system. And it's good to get feedback from the client themselves. So
look, we're very happy. You know, the bills have been good. We probably could do our hot water a bit more efficiently, but we just want hot water available all the time. So some of our bill comes from that. But
yes,
overall we're very happy. Like,
okay,
you know,
good. Yeah. Well, listen, Alan, thanks for sitting with me today and giving me that feedback. Thanks.